Hello, everyone, and welcome to our first day of Grade 12 Business Leadership e-learning edition. My name is Ms. Thompson, and I will be your teacher this fall into winter 2023-24 school year. I am thrilled to meet you and to get the ball rolling on our semester together. This is a fabulous course, and I've taught this course now several times. And I have always found that students have absolutely loved this course. They take a lot from it. There's a lot of inter and intra-personal development that happens within this course. It's also academic in nature and will definitely prepare you for life beyond high school, especially if you end up in a Bachelor of Commerce program. So really looking forward to teaching you in this course this semester. And really, this year is all about, or this first week is all about getting to know you and familiarizing yourself with the course and how this will operate. So, assuming that you've all done an e-learning course at some point, I'm going to go off of that. However, acknowledging that we all come from different paths and different experiences, so maybe this is not the case. The first few days of this course are really just going to be about setting you up so that you understand the expectations and just how the course itself is going to operate throughout the semester. So we take it kind of as a soft entry, of course, with the holiday Monday and the PD day. It's nice because we only have 3 days. So we're going to do a lot of that sort of anticipatory stuff over the next few days just to get you connected. Okay. So this instructional video is just going to introduce you to the course and a couple expectations and what you have to do today to complete. And then you'll have another instructional video tomorrow where I'm going to orient you to the course and my expectations. And again, remind you what you need to do and complete for this week. Okay. So these videos are mandatory. Consider this like imagining we're in a classroom together. This is your instruction. This is me teaching you. So you don't want to skip through these videos. This is where you're going to get all the information you need to be successful. Okay. So that's that. So before we get started, I want to honor the land and territory. Of course, this is something that we do, at least in our school, that is a tradition and something that's very important. And even though we are in an e-learning space, it's important to honor the land in which you are learning, regardless of where you are in Halton District School Board at the moment. So Halton, as we know it today, is rich in history and modern traditions of the many First Nations and the Métis. From the Anishinaabe to the Ottawandarin, the Haudenosaunee, and the Métis, these lands surrounding the Great Lakes are steeped in Indigenous history. As we gather today on these treaty lands, we have the responsibility to honor and respect the four directions: land, waters, plants, animals, ancestors that walk before us, and all the wonderful elements of creation that exist. We would like to acknowledge and thank the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation for sharing their traditional territory with us. So my name is Miss Thompson, and just to give you a bit of background as to who I am, I have been teaching for the last 15 years, which is wild. I can't believe how quickly time has gone, but I absolutely love teaching. I'm a business educator. I also have run and co-developed the social justice program for Halton District School Board. So I'm a big social justice advocate and equity ally. And I also run my own dance studio. I'm on the board of directors currently, but 10 years ago, I started my own dance company in Toronto. So I like to share that with my business students because I want you to know that not only do I obviously teach business, but I understand business as I run my own. And my partner is also an entrepreneur, so a big business family. And then I also am a human being and I have lots of passions. I love to run and cook and travel. I've been all over the world. I've done all kinds of amazing travel experiences, everything from climbing Mount Fuji in Japan to trying to help build a school in Ghana, to backpacking through Europe and, going to Thailand. There's just a lot of a teaching exchange in Thailand, lots of wonderful things. So I share this because I want you to remember that I am a person behind the screen. It's easy, I think, sometimes to forget that there is another human being over here. And I like to treat you guys with as much respect as possible. And I love getting to know each and every one of you as much as possible. And so it's just important that you remember that on the other end over here, it's a human, not a bot. And I really want to ensure that we foster a respectful chain of communication throughout the semester because it's just going to make it better for everyone. Okie dokie. So with that being said, with this course, it's really important that you understand that what I value more than anything is a student that just really tries hard. An e-learning environment is tricky because you don't have a teacher in front of you every day. Yes, you have these instructional videos, and I always make my face present to you. I'm not hiding anything from you, um, but I'm not there in front of you every day. And so it's really up to you to show up to your life and to this course. I expect you to be in this course every day as you would a regular course. You all have a period off this semester that's dedicated to this course. You should be using it. The expectation is that this class is going to take you 75 minutes every day, Monday to Friday. That's the expectations for success. So if you leave everything for this course, like you think, okay, I'm just going to prioritize my other courses, and then at some point I'm going to go and get to this e-learning course, you're going to find that you just won't be successful. Students that try hard, they're in the course every day, they're getting their work done on deadlines, they're communicating when they're struggling. Those are the students that do very well. Okay, so it's really important to me that you understand that. I also really value, obviously, mental health and making sure that we are in a very busy world, and starting into a new school year, it's really important that you set your intention for how you want your grade 12 year to go, your graduating year for many of you. And that's going to require making sure that you set balance and set boundaries and prioritize your school, but you also prioritize your own heart and your own health as well. Okay, and so if you need help with anything, it's really important to me that you reach out to me. As much as we are in an e-learning space, I do have office hours. I am available every day, Monday to Friday, on a Google Meet between 8:30 and 10:30. I do teach out of CKSS in Milton, so if you happen to be at that school, that's even more convenient for you. But I'm always available with my e-learning students. If you email me, my policy is I get back to you within 24 hours, except on weekends. So again, I am accessible. You do not need to feel as though, I'm at a distance somewhere. If you need help, you need to reach out. Okay. All right, so this course is all about learning how to be a leader, but you're going to redefine leadership. I think we think of leadership as like the big extroverted person that gets up and stands up in front of a crowd, and that's true sometimes, but it's not always true. Actually, there are incredible leaders that are the opposite of that. And so we're going to look at that because we all have an inner leader within us. It's just understanding who that leader is. And that's a lot of what this course is about. We're really going to be focusing on developing our leadership capacity and understanding how we would do that functioning within a successful business. We're going to be giving case studies and case scenarios where you will be sort of in a situation where you'd have to take some of the stuff that we learn and apply. Well, what would you do in this case? The answer isn't always firing someone, even if they've done something that you don't like or that costs the business. And so we'll look at situations like that. You're going to look at decision making and how to manage group dynamics that are very challenging, understanding the impact of workplace stress, sort of the economic as well as physical and emotional impact, challenge of conflict, understanding human motivation and your own internal motivation, and how to plan and organize effectively. That's why students really love this course, because if they don't go into business in the future, they could still glean a lot from it. Okay, and overall, we learn effective business communication skills. So I'm going to have you making lots of videos like this where I get to see your face, where you're practicing your presentation skills, and no, you cannot read off your slides. All right, it's all about learning how to effectively use your voice and, being authentic in that. And we'll talk a lot about that. Okay, so that's sort of the essence of it. What do I expect from you? I just expect effort. Okay. Sometimes what I find most often happens, especially with grade 12 students in an e-learning course, the students that don't perform well are the ones they think that can just leave the stuff until the end of the week. And then they just, something comes up on a Sunday and they want to do that instead of their e-learning course. And they've left 7 hours of work to do, and there's just not enough hours in the day. And this is an academic grade 12 course. You have to treat it that way, or it will be so hard to catch up. And I have worked with many students who have done just that, and trying to catch up even with their best intentions, if they are weeks behind, is just so hard in grade 12 because you have so many other responsibilities. So the very best thing that you can do for yourself is, starting on day one, you get into the classroom every day, you check out what you're doing every day, and you get it done. Okay. You have a lot of freedom in e-learning courses. You don't have to sit and hear lectures every single day, but you have to abide by deadlines and you have to stay on top of your work. And that really does come down to you. And we're going to talk a lot about that between today and tomorrow. Okay. So learning in a virtual space really requires connection. So what I mean by that is connect with me. Okay. You want to be checking your email. You all have a Halton District School Board email account. And that is a Gmail account. And you should be checking that every day. I send messages that way. If I'm concerned about you, or if you haven't handed something in, I'll send you messages there. It's very important to me that you email me. Remember, I'm a human on the other side of the screen, not a bot. So connecting, making sure you're asking for help. Okay. Time management is very important in this class, and I'm going to go through this tomorrow with more detail. Everything that you have assigned to you is assigned to you on a Sunday at 8 p.m. You're going to receive a post on our activity feed, and I'll show you this week's in just a moment, on Sunday at 8 p.m., and you're going to see everything that's assigned for you for the week. Everything that's assigned for you for the week is due the following Monday at 8 a.m., which is awesome, right? Because you have the whole week to complete the tasks and you can do it at your leisure. However, if you, like I said, decide to leave everything for the week until Sunday night, you're not going to get it done. And if you do, you're going to be up all night and it's not going to be good. So your deadlines really matter. You can't just decide you're going to do this course, at the week before midterms. Number one, doing that, your work is not going to be good. No offense. I mean, I know some people know how to procrastinate well, but for the most part, even the smartest student really struggles with that because there are other courses they're trying to carry. Okay. Again, I've taught this course, like 12 times. So I know what happens. All right. The deadlines really matter. I also very strongly recommend that you take notes on all the lessons and the videos and the articles, because you do have tests and exams, or an examination at the end. And the assignments require you to know the content. And because we live in a world where ChatGPT exists, the way that I write assignments, you have to reflect the learning from the lessons that I'm doing in class. If I see, you're using concepts that I didn't teach you myself, I'm just going to assume that you went to ChatGPT or some other bot to help you come up with your answers. Again, a lot of our assignments are also personal reflection based on the course content. So what I have found is that many of the students, or I shouldn't say many, but usually a handful within each semester, they just don't keep notes. They don't keep track of the lessons or the slide decks. And then they don't know, like they don't have the content anywhere. And there's a lot of content. This is a grade 12 academic course. So I would recommend, day one, you create a Google folder for this course and you create a Google document that's titled, Unit 1 Notes. And as you're going through the content this semester, you're taking notes on the content, any of the articles, any of the videos. I strongly recommend that. Okay. And I'm going to go over this again as kind of time unfolds as we start to get different assignments. Okay, the other thing is that for the first 2 weeks of this course, we do take attendance in this course. For the first 2 weeks, I take attendance every single day. And after that, it's once a week. So the attendance is taken in the form of what we call a participation activity, or an attendance activity. I'm going to show you that in just a second. For the first 2 weeks, you have to complete the attendance activity on the day in which it is assigned in order to be marked as present for that day. If you don't complete it, I'm going to contact you. If you don't complete it twice, I'm going to contact you again. The third time, I'm contacting home, okay? Because I'm just going to assume you're not doing what you need to be doing. So I'll show you this in just a second, but just know that that's something you have to get on right away, okay? Again, communicate. If you need help, I am here. I am totally happy to pop into a Google Meet. I do that all the time with my students, okay? In this class, your marks are earned in a variety of different ways. We have discussion posts. We have what I call badge inquiry activities. Again, I'm going to explain all of this more as time unfolds, but those are basically if we do a lesson or I have a video that I want you to really unpack, I'll have you do something that's more of an inquiry-based learning activity, and they're worth a little bit less of your overall mark. Projects are worth a larger percentage of your overall mark, so are tests, and then the final performance task and the examination. Okay, so we're going to get started by showing you, I'm just going to jump into our classroom. And so each of you should have received an email from me with the link to our Brightspace shell, our classroom here. And this is what our shell looks like for this semester, okay? This is our homepage. And like I said, every Sunday at 8 p.m., you're going to see a post right here on the activity feed that looks like this, okay? So it's going to say something like, welcome to week 2. Here's what's on tap for this week. And I'm always going to attach what you need. So you're going to have a weekly agenda, Okay. You're going to have, in this case, a video as well, which is what you're watching right now. And then just to make it easy for today, I've attached the attendance activity. So let's draw our attention to the weekly agenda. What you're going to do every week is you're going to open up this agenda. Okay. And there's going to be a little preamble here. I'm just going to go through some stuff with you about what's going on for the week and sort of the expectations for the week ahead. All right. So I would recommend reading that. You'll also notice that I did embed my email here. It's available also on the homepage. You'll find my email address right here. Okay. But I've already emailed you as well, so you should be able to see that. Okay, and so as we know, this week we had Labor Day on Monday, PD Day on Tuesday, so that brings us to Wednesday, today's class. So what I've done for you here is I've linked the participation activity that I mentioned. This is that attendance activity. You have to complete the attendance activity for the first 2 weeks on the day in which it is assigned. So if you go in and do this tomorrow, you're going to be marked absent for today. You have to do it today, okay? And the same thing goes for the other activities, participation activities for day 2 and day 3. You have to do them on the day in which they are assigned to be marked as present for that day. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to listen to this video. Okay, so I've made day 1 really simple for you. Okay, you're going to click right in there, complete the Google form, and your attendance activities are always in a Google form. Okay, make sure you submit it when you're done. And that's all you have to do for day 1. Of course, you're watching this video, taking notes, and making sure you know what the expectations are. Tomorrow, you're going to have another instructional video. I'm going to be orienting you better to the course. I'm just going to go through some expectations, where you can find everything, how to navigate everything in the course, and just in a general sense, review the expectations of an e-learning student. Okay, next week, I'm going to be talking to you about how to submit assignments, and we'll also look at Chicago citations, which is what we'll be doing in this course. So for tomorrow, you just have to watch that video, which I'll post as well. And it's linked in here, and then complete your second activity, participation activity. For Friday's class, you're completing your first discussion post. So this is your first assignment, okay? So you're doing your participation activity. You're also going to read this tips for students by e-learning students. So you're going to open that assignment. You're going to open up that PDF, and you're going to read the tips by e-learning students for students. Just things that you want to make sure that you think about for your success this semester. And then you're going to complete your first discussion assignment. So essentially, discussion assignments are communication marks. Okay, they will all be marked. Some will be marked formally, and some will just be documented as assessment, so that it will be sort of an overall mark for completion. Discussion posts are also inquiry learning. So often you'll be given a lesson, and then you'll be unpacking it in a class discussion. It's also your way of connecting with the fellow students in your class. So they're very important to me that you do that, okay? For each discussion post, you're going to have some prompts, and you'll be expected to ask a question of your peers. And then when you're done posting, you're going to be expected to go back and read and reply to at least 2 peer comments. Again, we're trying to foster communication within the classroom, and giving you an opportunity to connect with your fellow classmates. Because it is an assignment, again, in this class, it's due on Monday, September 11th at 8 a.m. So everything that's assigned for you this week, other than the participation activities, those need to be done on the day in which they are assigned, is due on the Monday at 8 a.m. That's always the case, except sometimes with projects, but that I will explain when the time comes. So for this week, your discussion post, you have all week to do it. Read and reply to 2 peer comments, and that's due at Monday at 8 a.m. So where to find discussion posts? If you go into Brightspace and you click on Communication Discussions, you'll see that your very first discussion post is available to you already. All right. So for your first discussion post, you are going to be, again, you can either create a written response or a video or audio response. Some people much prefer to do what I'm doing right now instead of typing everything out. So that's totally fine if you want to do that for discussion posts. Remember that you have to read and reply on 2 peer posts, and make sure that you're stimulating class discussion by asking a question of your peers based on the nature of the discussion post. And this is a very easy one. So in this discussion post, you're just telling us your name. You're sharing us a little bit about your passions, hobbies, and interests. What do you do to relax and unwind? What do you think is the biggest obstacle to success in an e-learning course? And what do you plan to achieve success? Sorry, that scared me. I don't know what that was. And then setting your goal for your semester. For a lot of you, this is your grade 12 academic year. So graduating year, I should say. So what are you going to do to make this year awesome? Okay. So don't forget to ask a question of your classmates. And then when you're done posting, go back and read and reply to 2 peer posts for your full marks. Okay. You will not receive full marks if you don't reply to 2 peer questions. Okay. And that's what's assigned to you for this week. So again, tomorrow's lesson is just going to orient you a little bit more to Brightspace. I don't want to go into too much of that today, just because, again, a lot of it it's just a lot. It's the first day. Let's be real. But I wanted you to get to know me a little bit, look at Brightspace a little bit, understand the weekly agendas and what we have on tap for this week. Obviously, understand the importance of listening to the instructional videos as well as completing the participation activities and knowing how to contact me if you have any questions. Okay? So that's a wrap for our first instructional video. Remember that tomorrow I will be posting another video just to recap a lot of what I've just shared, but also adding some more details on how the course will operate. So you do have to watch both those videos. I always know when you haven't watched. So make sure that you do that, and make sure you do your attendance activity for today. All right. If you have any questions, send me an email. I hope you all have a fabulous first day of school, and I will see you online.